Welcome to the Broadway.com show, filmed in the heart of New York City's theater district. I'm Ryan Lee Gilbert.
And I'm Beth Stevens. Today, we're welcoming new stars to a gravity-defying hit and getting ready for an acclaimed new musical to hit the boards.
And later, we sit down with Broadway's most gleeful cheerleader, Darren Criss.
But first, let's get started with the news. What's the buzz, Ryan?
7 of the original Harry Potter and the Cursed Child cast members are coming to New York for the show's highly anticipated Broadway run. The original trio of Jamie Parker as Harry Potter, Noma Dumezweni as Hermione Granger, and Paul Thornley as Ron Weasley will reprise their roles on the main stem, along with Poppy Miller, Sam Clement, Alex Price, and Anthony Boyle. Based on a story by J.K. Rowling, Jack Thorne, and director John Tiffany, and a script by Thorne, the two-part play picks up some 20 years after the events of the novels and centers on a threat from the past that both the adults and their children at Hogwarts must confront. Preview performances for Broadway's Harry Potter and the Cursed Child will begin in March 2018, with an official opening at the Lyric Theater set for April 22nd.
I'm shocked they haven't renamed that theater the Hogwarts Theater.
Give it time.
Tony-winning hit Kinky Boots is welcoming back its 2 original headliners. Billy Porter, who won a Tony Award for his performance as Lola, and Stark Sands as Charlie, will return to the feel-good show at the Hirschfeld Theater on September 26th for a limited engagement through January 7th, 2018. In the meantime, original cast member Andy Kelso returns to the role of Charlie on August 8th for a 7-week engagement, joining current Lola, J. Harrison G. Got all that? Good, because there's more. Delaney Westfall will play Lauren in the show beginning on August 22nd. She is stepping in for Taylor Louderman, who is set to take on the role of Regina George in the world premiere of the Mean Girls musical in Washington, D.C.
That is a lot of kinky news.
Yes, Ryan.
New casting was announced this week for 2 much buzzed-about New York productions. Philip Boykin, Alicia DeLaurieux, David Jennings, Kenita R. Miller, and Isaac Powell will lead the cast of the upcoming Broadway revival of Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty's Once on This Island, with casting for the role of T. Moon still to be announced. Directed by Michael Arden, the musical will open at the Circle in the Square Theater on December 3rd. And over at Off-Broadway's New World Stages, several stage favorites have joined London star John O'Davies in A Clockwork Orange, including Matt Doyle, Sean Patrick Higgins, Brian Lee Huynh, Timothy Seck, Jordan Bondurant, Misha Oshirovich, Jimmy Brooks, Ashley Robinson, and Alexander Varadian. Directed by Alexandra Spencer Jones, opening night is set for September 25th.
And now, some starry London news. Michelle Dockery of Downton Abbey fame is set to join Tony winner Bryan Cranston in the National Theatre's world premiere of Network, directed by Ivo Van Hove. Lee Hall's adaptation of the Oscar-winning film will begin previews on November 4th and open on November 13th. Dockery is playing the role of Diana Christensen, memorably played by Faye Dunaway in the movie. Also across the pond, Tom Hiddleston will headline a production of Hamlet, directed by Kenneth Branagh. The Avengers star will play only 21 performances in the Shakespearean tragedy as a benefit for the Royal Academy of Dramatic Arts, his alma mater. Needless to say, this is a seriously hot ticket.
Can I just say, yay, Hamlet?
You mean, yay, Hiddleston.
Lifetime Channel's award-winning morning show The Balancing Act has begun shooting the 4th season of its series, Broadway Balances America, which is sponsored by Broadway Across America. Season 4, which premieres on September 11th, will provide behind-the-scenes access and interviews highlighting the national tours of Disney's Aladdin, On Your Feet, Love Never Dies, Waitress, and Chicago. Plus, SiriusXM On Broadway host Julie James and I will turn the spotlight on all of the 2017-18 touring productions hitting the road this fall, with new episodes of the Broadway Across America report debuting each month.
Numerous Broadway stars have landed new TV gigs. 6-time Tony winner Audra McDonald will reprise her Good Wife role as U.S. Attorney Liz Lawrence on Season 2 of The Good Fight as a series regular. Lilla Crawford, who starred as the title character in the most recent Broadway revival of Annie, will appear on the new Netflix series The Who Was Show. The sketch comedy series, inspired by the best-selling Who Was biography books, will delve into well-known characters from the past. Tony winner Laura Benanti has been up to a series regular on Season 3 of The Detour. Benanti plays a United States Postal Service inspector who takes her job very seriously on the TBS comedy. We also found out this week that Tony nominee Harry Connick Jr. will reprise his role as Leo in the upcoming NBC reboot of Will and Grace.
After the break, we're thrillified to meet the new and returning stars of Wicked, check in with School of Rock's Eric Peterson, get ready for the band's visit on Broadway, chat with the always adorable Darren Criss, and more.
There's a new Best Musical on Broadway that you'll want to see again and again and again. The New York Times says, I loved it. It's a miracle on Broadway. Groundhog Day. Get your tickets today.
My name is Mike Feist. I'm with the cast of Dear Evan Hansen, and you are watching the Broadway.com show.
Welcome back. Stage favourite Jackie Burns is triumphantly returning to Broadway blockbuster Wicked as Elphaba, alongside tour stars Amanda Jane Cooper as Glinda and Ashley Parker Angel as Fiero. We caught up with the talented trio about returning to their celebrated roles in the smash hit.
It's so exciting to be back in the bubble, and I'm so incredibly honored and grateful to join the incredible company here at the Gershwin.
It feels amazing, although it has never really left. I think I still have green from the last time I was here, so yeah.
Oh my God, what an amazing opportunity. I got a chance to do the tour, travel across the country playing this role, and now here in New York on Broadway again. It's going to be awesome.
It's an honor to get to play this role, and coming back to be able to find even more has been such a gift for me. She is, I think, one of the most amazing characters written for musical theater today. She has so much heart, so much tenacity.
One of my favorite things about playing Glinda is just all the discoveries that I get to make throughout the show. Where we meet her is so different from where she ends up, and so that journey is so thrilling.
It's an incredible circle to join. You know, there's been some amazing Fieros. You know, having graduated from the School of Boy Band, you know, of course, Joey McIntyre, you know, plays Fiero earlier on, and you have Adam Lambert, and you have some amazing just people that through the years have been able to play the role. So I feel honored to be able to be a part of that.
It's truly a love fest at the Gershwin Theatre, especially because these leading ladies are reuniting after several years.
I love me some Amanda Jane Cooper. You guys are gonna like go crazy. She is so funny. I have to actually not, like consciously not laugh and be like, be a professional, Jackie, because she is hilarious and so good.
I love Jackie Burns. She is incredible. She was my first ever Elphaba back in 2011 on tour, and so to get to do this with her again 6 years later is just the greatest thrill, and I'm so excited.
Wicked has everything. It has everything for men, for women, for children, for adults. You know, it literally crosses every genre. It's funny, it's touching, it has the most beautiful music.
People go nuts for this show, and it's, you know, one of the longer running shows now, but I think it's just a testament to how incredible this story is, how incredible the music is, the production, just everything about this show people love.
The themes throughout it are so universal, and I think that people just keep coming back because we're drawn to truth and the exploration of that. And I think that this story is a captivating one about doing what is right versus what is popular, not judging a person, and I think it's just a little bit of magic bottled up.
Already one of the most celebrated musicals of the year, David Yazbek and Itamar Moses' The Band's Visit will make its Broadway premiere this October. So, in anticipation of the show's fall opening, cast members Tony Shalhoub, Katrina Lenk, and Ariel Stachel recently shot a commercial for the musical, and we were there to get a sneak peek and find out more about this acclaimed show.
The Band's Visit is a show about a group of Egyptian ceremonial police band members who end up in a desolate town in the desert in Israel.
And there's a mix-up at the border, and they're sent to the wrong place, so they're stuck in the middle of the Negev desert.
And basically there's these, I would call them a series of dates between various Egyptian members who are taken in by the locals, and we end up sort of seeing the commonality of people beyond sort of political boundaries.
I, of course, did the off-Broadway production, as did many of the people here. And it was just such a brilliant, wonderful experience.
I think it is just very, very different. I think it's unexpected. I think one of the responses we got the most from people is I had no idea what was going to happen next. I've never seen anything like it. It was surprising.
People feel instantly like they can relate to these characters, and that instantly they're taken to a place that they're completely unfamiliar with. So they're taken to another world, and yet it's also familiar.
The cast explained that the commercial, shot at a giant warehouse in Brooklyn, will not only invoke the world of the musical, but also hint at its style and the romance at the center of it.
The commercial, as far as I can see, is just these kind of quick flashes, just images of the environment in which the musical takes place.
This is sort of like a vignette, I think, that is similar to sort of the final stage picture that we have in the play. It's very poetically touching on this love story that happens between our two main characters, which is Tufik and Dina, played by Tony Shalhoub and Katrina Lenk.
It is Dina's memory of what happens in the show, so it's her remembering everything that happened and hopefully trying to conjure it to make it happen again.
Broadway audiences eager to discover the band's visit for themselves will have to wait until previews begin at the Barrymore Theatre on October 7th, but Lenk hints at what kind of evening awaits them.
A night of beautiful music, a night of some jokes, a lot of laughs, and a really beautiful, subtle, but also huge story.
Eric Peterson plays hard rocker turned substitute teacher Dewey Finn in Broadway's School of Rock. We recently caught up with the star backstage at the Winter Garden Theater to find out how he makes his dressing room a home away from home.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Eric Peterson. I play Dewey Finn in School of Rock here on Broadway at the Winter Garden Theater. I'm happy to have you here in my dressing room, and I'm going to show you 5 of my favorite things. Let's check them out. So the most important thing in my dressing room is definitely going to be my pictures of my wife and my 2 kids, Lisa, Sophia, and Miles. They sort of encircle my whole dressing room spot here. They're sort of my whole life, the whole reason I do anything. Anybody that has family knows that. Yeah, so this is what I like to look at right before the show and definitely kind of check in with while I'm doing my work. If you know, I'm a big sports fan. I'm from Chicago originally, and I am a big Notre Dame Fighting Irish football fan. And they have one of these signs in their dressing room, and as they head out to the field before every game, they always tap it a couple times, and it's sort of a good luck thing. So I have one of these that my wife got for me, and I hit it right before the show. It's the last thing I do before I head off to the stage to rock and roll. So the third thing on my favorite things is going to be these Haribo Happy Colas. These are kind of like little gummy bears, except they taste like Coca-Cola. I really love them. They have some glycerin in them, which is kind of helpful when you're singing, and also I just like a little sweet treat during the show. So I eat a lot of these during the show. I have a few, not after every scene, but after a lot of scenes, I'll just grab one of these guys. So Haribo Happy Colas, good stuff, very good. So the fourth thing on my list of my 5 favorite things is going to be this banner here, which is from Bradley University, which is where I went to college. I think I just really like to have stuff in my dressing room that reminds me of what's important to me, where I've come from, where I'm going. And so I loved my time in Peoria, Illinois. I'm a very proud Bradley graduate. So I like having this here, and I can see it in my dressing room mirror as I'm getting ready. It just kind of reminds me where I trained, where I came from, and what it's all about for me. So go Bradley. So the last thing in my dressing room that I really like that makes it sort of feel like my home away from home is what I call my sort of trinket corner. I just got a bunch of stuff here. I love Christmas, so I have a little bear that has like a Christmas welcome sign. I played Shrek on the first national tour of Shrek the Musical, so I have a bunch of, this is an old Shrek ear from one of the cowls, which is kind of cool. This is Land of Lincoln. I'm from Illinois, so I got those. I got some flags here from different things that I like to celebrate. This is a W flag from the Cubs whenever the Cubs win, which is pretty cool. I got a City of Chicago flag in here, an American flag. So yeah, this is just all my little like stuff that makes it sort of feel like my place. All right, guys, those were my 5 favorite things in my dressing room here. I hope you enjoyed getting a little glimpse into where I spend my time before and after the show. I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you around, and make sure you come down to the Winter Garden Theater to see us in School of Rock, where we like to rock and roll 8 times a week. Come check us out. Thanks.
New musical Bandstand is currently winning and breaking hearts over at the Bernard B. Jacobs Theatre. Check out our exclusive photo shoot of the show's dancers with photographer Matthew Murphy at Pete's Candy Store in Brooklyn. When we return, Darren Criss talks about reuniting with Lea Michele at Elsie Fest and more.
There's a new best musical on Broadway that you'll want to see again and again and again. The New York Times says, "I loved it. It's a miracle on Broadway." Groundhog Day. Get your tickets today.
Darren Criss is well loved by Broadway fans for playing Blaine on TV's GLEE and his stage appearances in How to Succeed in Business and Hedwig and the Angry Inch. He's also known for creating the awesome music event Elsie Fest, which will return to New York City in October. He recently stopped by to give us a scoop. Darren, how's it going, man?
It's going good, dude.
So happy you're on the Elsie Fest press tour.
That's exactly what you said it like that, and it was like, I don't think that's really what it is because I'm always talking about Elsie, but yes. Considering that we just have announced this week, it definitely is.
Elsie Fest, it's here again.
Now, I'm assuming these lights are only purple and goldish.
It's for you, man.
Strictly for me.
Oh, yeah, we were just waiting to see what the new logo was.
Oh, thank God.
We light it based on the logo.
Oh, I'm so touched. I feel so at home. This is great.
I love that you created this. You know, this was a thing you had in your brain,
yeah, man.
And you've done it, and now you're entering year 3, and I know you really live with it. This is something that really is sort of...
It's sort of an all-year-round adventure.
Yeah.
Because it takes a lot of planning and a lot of finagling, especially because I do a lot of other things that if I didn't, I feel like it'd be a lot easier. But yeah, it's a 3-year-old now, so it's walking and talking and running around the house a little more than it was. So we're still growing, but we're finally at Central Park.
Yeah,
which is really
you're
really
back in
exciting.
Manhattan this year.
Back in Manhattan
at the summer stage.
Summer
which
stage,
is beautiful.
Yeah, it's in October, and there's a couple things that I'm really excited about specifically to this year, which is it's in the fall in Central Park, which everybody knows is just like the best, most beautiful time to be there.
So for temperature-wise, and
temperature-wise, it's not too hot. It's just the backdrop is just so pretty.
Yep.
And it's right in the heart of the iconic city, an iconic place like Central Park, but also it is on Columbus Day weekend, so most people don't have work on Monday.
So the day after,
so you can go
Sunday night.
extra hard on Sunday.
Go extra hard at Elsie Fest.
Exactly, not just Broadway people. Everybody gets Monday off, which is great.
Yeah. Okay. Nice. I didn't even realize that. Thank you for planning that.
Ooh, that's a very important detail.
Very, very well thought out. So every year, I know you've had amazing headliners for the last 2 years. And this year, you have, again, announced some amazing people. So let's start with playing the role of Elsie.
Playing with the role of Elsie this year is
Lea
split.
Michele.
Lea Michele.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, how exciting.
She's going to be joining us.
Lea Michele's now been away from Broadway for 9 years.
Really? Has it been that long?
Yeah, can you please talk to her about this?
I always ask her about it.
I mean, if it hits 10 years.
She likes the TV schedule, for sure. I think that's something she's really grown fond of. But it's not to say, and I'll quote her exactly. I mean, she wants to come back. Very much. I think it's just finding the right time and the right everything. But that's crazy, 9 years?
9 years. Well, you're getting her in front of Broadway fans. So,
yes, so it's been a long time coming.
Obviously, you work together on GLEE.
Yeah, I mean, there's a list that is, people always come up to me like, have you ever thought about so-and-so? And yeah, I've thought about
You've thought about everything.
I mean, it's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. It's not just actors, it's writers and composers and personalities and YouTube people and internet people and obviously and movie stars. It just and rock stars. It goes because there's so many people that have ties that you forget. Like, oh yeah, they did do that thing, or they do have that connection to musical theater, or they did that song from that movie. It wasn't on Broadway, but it's sort of connected to musical theater.
Right.
So there's so many people, and it's just a matter of getting availability and making sure that everything works out. So yeah, Lea's been on the master list for a long time. I didn't know that it's been that long since Broadway, but I'll certainly be milking that little factoid as we sell tickets for this show.
What do you say in terms of the set list? I mean, what do you want people to do at Elsie Fest?
I really want them to do truly whatever they want. I encourage them to use this as a platform to do stuff they wouldn't normally get to do.
Yeah.
So for some people, maybe they're busy, they just do whatever's in their back pocket, but I encourage them, if you've always wanted an excuse to sing this pop song, but you didn't want to do it because it wasn't right for the venue, or you didn't think that it was going to work at that concert at Carnegie Hall, I really want this to be an excuse to do something they never ever get to do, which not only makes it special for Elsie, but it gets to be special for them. So I like people getting out of their comfort zones and being like, oh, thank you, I've always wanted to do that. So that's what I hope they do. But obviously, our artists have certain hits that I think people would cry bloody murder if Alan Cumming didn't do something from Cabaret.
So Alan Cumming is also on the bill.
Yes, exactly. That was a segue.
Yeah, that was a good
that's an old industry term.
Well done. And also Ingrid Michaelson, movie making
an
appearance.
Oh, yeah, I'm super
And Broadway's
excited
Norm
about
Lewis.
Yeah.
Those are the announced players so far, and Darren Criss.
And me, but we'll see what happens with me.
And do you come up with dream duets? Will you be singing with some of these people?
Yeah, I have ideas, but again, ultimately it's up to them. I think Lea and I will definitely be doing some things, but you know, I hope Ingrid, you know, does duets with people, and yeah, I really, you know, I've said it like 3 different ways, and every time I say it, I'm like trying to stop myself and say it differently. But again, it's an excuse to do fun things that there's no other venue that these people could do it for, or no other venue for fans to see it in.
Right.
You know, so that's the weirder and more unique, the better. But ultimately, it's up to the performers.
I was a little obsessed with the Andrew Cunanan murder spree and the Gianni Versace murder at the time. I remember in like '97, right? I think
it was 20 years ago.
Yeah,
literally almost a month.
I mean,
ago.
I remember like flyers hanging up in gay bars saying "Don't go home with this guy." I mean, it was crazy, and I'm like sort of following the whole thing. When you got cast in this, I was so excited. I was like, I'm so excited that you have this opportunity to really like do something totally different for you. And then I thought, well, wait a minute, and I see a little bit of resemblance.
There is that. There is sort of an uncanny resemblance. I mean, we're both...
So you're playing Andrew Cunanan.
Yes.
The serial killer.
Yeah. This is the most exhilarating and exciting thing I've ever gotten to do in my entire career, my very short career. I've waited my whole life for this moment. This to me is like, oh wow, this is like my big break.
So what's going on your Instagram account? You didn't have enough followers? Why are you posting naked photos? I was like, what's going on, Darren?
You know what happened? There were photos of us doing this scene, again, in a public space, because we're shooting everything
you were like
in Miami. Yeah, and it's a really goofy scene of me in this ridiculous Speedo. And I was like, thank God this is so clearly me at work, in character, in costume. Because if this was like Darren on vacation, it'd be like incriminating. So I saw those pictures, and I was like, oh, I'm going to take this one back. Because at the end of that day, I was so sunburned that I took this really funny picture.
Yes.
And the thing about posting photos like that is I think I made it count with the caption I wrote, which nobody pays attention to because it gets upstaged by the photo. But I thought it was funny.
My face was red.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it's a funny caption.
If you're curious what I said on the go ask the internet, and she'll tell you what I said and what I did. But yeah, that was fun. I deliberated. I asked my girlfriend. I asked all my friends, like, what should I do? How should I crop? She like cropped it and everything for me.
Right,
and
right.
I went to Ryan, should I post this? And he's like, yes, do it. He likes people talking about stuff. So in the spirit of fun and taking something back, and I was like, why not? I thought it was a funny moment. I'll never do it again. Why not? Exactly.
I thought it was funny. So, Elsie Fest.
Yes.
It's October 8th.
Yes, which is Columbus Day weekend.
Columbus Day weekend, so everyone can
so you
do
can,
whatever you want
if you're not from New York City, you can come in from out of town, have a weekend in New York for Columbus Day weekend.
Doors open 5 o'clock. Summer Stage, beautiful in Central Park. Tickets are on sale now, today.
On Ticketfly, and you can get all the links and information from elsiefest.com. As the months progress, more people will be announced, so follow us on social media and Instagram and all that fun stuff, and you'll find more information. But yeah, if you want to get tickets now, go on Ticketfly and check out Elsie Fest.
It is an incredible event, and if you guys haven't experienced it yet, you must. And honestly, I'm so proud of you that you've pulled this off, and that you've really made this sort of an amazing part of every year.
Thanks, Paul. Well, you're a part of it too, man.
Congratulations. I can't wait to see you soon.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'll see you at Elsie Fest.
See you the next one. Yeah, cheers.
All right.
When we come back, more from Broadway.com Audience Choice Award winner, Darren Criss.
There's a new Best Musical on Broadway that you'll want to see again and again and again. The New York Times says, I loved it. It's a miracle on Broadway. Groundhog Day. Get your tickets today.
Hi, I'm Mauricio Martinez. I play Emilio Estefan in On Your Feet, and you're watching the Broadway.com show.
Thank you for watching the Broadway.com show.
We leave you with a look at the just released video of Darren Criss singing I Dreamed a Dream from Les Mis.
See you next week.
And still I dream she'll come to me. We will spend the years together. But there are dreams that cannot be. Yeah. There are storms we cannot weather.